That was the boss lady, only this time she wasn't calling for more liquor in her cocktail. Where's Bronco? Dragging Bronco along would slow them down, but not much. It looked like they were taking him out through the basement. Maybe I still had a shot. Rodrigo was too rich a prop. They weren't far ahead. Once I opened the door, I'd actually have to come up with a plan. Another parking lot rattling with gunfire. Was I too late?
Stay down, Mr. Bronco!
I hadn't seen it coming, but that was no surprise. It's hard to keep your eye on the ball through the bottom of a glass. The doors... Son of a bitch.
Juliana, sai daí! Chega! Que porra você tá fazendo?
They were headed for the helicopter pad.
She's making a run for it! Sir!
Eu não disse que eu ia te pegar. Você foi fácil demais.
She's headed inside.
Either way, I needed to find Giovanna before they did.
Tá ficando vergonhoso! Ela não pode. Vemos a mulher branca. Foi por isso que veio aqui. Você errando, reportando o se ela escapar! Eu gostaria dessa puta. Tem muita coisa que eu gostaria de fazer com ela.
This was a mess. Where the hell was Passos? We were two failed cops
Giovanna!
failing miserably.
Giovanna!
Come on.
Eu sabia que essa porra ia dar merda. Quem foi o filho da puta que teve... Eu quero...
Come on, let's get out of here!
So what am I, the button pusher? Where the hell's he going?
What's that, man? I'm working here.
Heads up! Here come his friends. Something tells me we're heading in the right direction.
You okay?
About the same as before. Looking forward to getting out of this shithole.
This way.
It didn't sound like we were the only ones getting shot at. Who the hell had tipped these guys off? I didn't know what to think anymore. This town had more smoke and mirrors than a strip club locker room.
Max, come here.
I didn't give a damn about the money, but I knew what would happen to Fabiana if the wrong people got paid.
Asshole! Já estava passando da hora.
Right behind you. Looks clear. Let's move while we got
It
the
was
chance.
time to introduce our sniping pal to something more intimate and short range.
Look, I'll deal with the guys on the other side of the fence. You take the others.
Whatever you say. All right, I'm inside. Looks like a VIP lounge or something. I'm gonna check it out.
Neves vai nos matar, hein? Se a gente não voltar com dinheiro, hein?
Quem é a menina?
É alguma...
Me dê cobertura!
don't know. Looking for something that ain't here, I guess.
Hey, look out! You get another sniper on you! Come on, Max! Move! Is that what you call running?
Okay, I'm in.
How's it looking, Max? Help me out here, Max! Now take up the other shoe! Top of the stairs, Max! On the left of the boat! Shit! Too far up top, bro! There's still two of the bastards! Can I catch a fucking break here? Still got one on me. Here's the
Just stay calm.
Okay, got another one coming up the stairs. All right, I'm making a run for it. That was too close. I'm getting inside before any more show up.
Whoever our uninvited guests were, I was about done playing soldiers. Okay, I'm going up.
Good. Make it quick.
Believe me, I ain't gonna drag this out. We'd half destroyed Sao Paulo's most hallowed place of worship. Looking back, it was strange how the cops never showed up. But things had a habit of only making sense to me, looking back long after I'd run out of time to fix them.
I see you. Right on top of him. Jump the railing.
I don't know why I did it.
Okay, I'm moving.
Keep your head down!
I know he brought a fucking army down here.
We got the joint locked down.
Somebody call!
Stop. I told you to stop. We're fine.
What do you mean we're fine? Come on, huh? We're not fine.
I ain't waiting to see who else shows up. Come on.
Fire! Let's fire!
Shit!
was hard seeing Brewer go out like that. But I got to thinking, it was what he was waiting for. A chance to make a difference. At least that's what helps me sleep at night. Up and out. Scramble away from what's left of your life over dead bodies and a few loose roof tiles. If I thought things through, I may have sat down and let myself burn right there.
Shoot him! Fire! Fire! Explode, though! Christ! Tank's gonna blow! Let's go!
There were wrecks all around, and not the kind you fix up for a weekend project. These were the wrecks you cross the road to avoid.
Man, they're always one step ahead.
They don't need to second guess us when they're covering all the angles.
We gotta wade down to the street. How many more they got? Watch out, homie! You want a camel coat, bro?
I'm fine with the leather.
There's plenty here, going begging.
This don't show the blood so much.
Always in moderation.
How's this look?
So far, I'd managed to keep a low profile, a bit out of character for a guy who's only comfortable with a bottle of whiskey or a gun in his hand. I didn't want to think about what would be happening on that. I had to keep moving. I hoped that. That was the chick. There she was, right in front of me. A drunk fool and wanted to make a play. But I had just about enough sense to know that I'd end up with another dead girl in my arms if I did. I opened the door to the next circle of this low-rent hell. seen Fabiana in a worrying amount of time, but at least I wasn't following a trail of her fingers.
More company!
Sorry, she's alive?
How much longer? I don't know.
Ah! Fuck! That way!
I see it.
Fuck, Max!
That boat is blocking us from the one we need! I can't get a shot on Fabiana's!
Oh, shit!
You see her? Stay on that boat! Almost, buddy, almost! We need to get past that decoy boat!
Fuck, man! One of the engines is gone! Give me a second!
Second is about all we got.
Come on, come on! Over there, man, over there!
Keep her steady. Making progress.
That gate's concentrating bullets whizzing past my head! Shit, look out, more! Come on! You come the fuck on! Hey, hey, that's them. We're back.
Nearly there, pal. crawling. How many guys they got?
How many poor kids want nice sneakers? It ain't hard to hire. Hey, we're on them again.
We're not coming this close to let her go.
I'm afraid this shit's gonna come down to more than willpower.
Get me next to them!
Hey! We're gonna hit the pier! Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
Get down behind the desk, now, both of you.
The real security guards had been run off, paid off, or bumped off. That left us. It wasn't a fantastically comforting thought.
This code should get us in.
Glad to see the security system is keeping the right people out.
Oh shit! What the hell? Are we dead?
No such luck. We gotta go.
It's through here.
Hey.
Abre fogo, abre fogo! Vai agora, avança! Atira nele! Atira nele!
Come on, move. Bronco's office overlooked the atrium. I could check in and make sure he hadn't checked out.
Max!
There it went. He was tucked up safe. Now I needed to make it to the lobby to complete my sweep of the building, for what that was worth. Perfect. If I wasn't immolated, I was gonna get crushed to death. Look at me. I've been contracted to protect two people. One was being held in some hole. The other was sitting at his desk with a bullet in his head. And the company that had its logo on my paycheck was melting on top of my head. There's no way one bomb could have done all this, unless the place was made of gasoline. This whole joint must have been rigged. Rodrigo or not, Fabricas Bronco is falling apart quite literally. Despite his manners, I'd done him a favor. This didn't look like a room where Rodrigo closed multi-million-dollar deals. It looked like a fiery hellhole. So much for a lazy Sunday afternoon. My next trick would be a high wire act with a fiery pit for a safety net. It was nice that no one was shooting at me for a change, but I'd take shot in the head over a slow roast on a spit any day of the goddamn week.
Por favor, amigo. No.
Relax, soldier. You're American? Oh, jeez, buddy. Am I glad?
Jesus, what a fucking creep. It was Monday afternoon, and I'd already been thrown out of a party, gone to a strip club, and got into a bar fight. This latest midlife crisis was certainly ticking all the boxes.
Amigo, não sei. Tô vendo porra nenhuma. A gente desce ou não? Foda-se. Isso aí já era, não vale a pena não. Minha cobertura!
The fireworks display was clearly in my honor, making sure everyone knew to roll out the red carpet for their surprise guest. I could hear a woman screaming. I thought I'd found Fabiana, but instead I'd stumbled across some testosterone fest. A bunch of young... I was running the risk of becoming too
These bastards
clear-headed.
look different, tougher, more capable.
There was no need
They
to
didn't look
announce
like
my
Serrano's
arrival in
boys,
that
but I
part
could
of
tell I
town.
was
I'd
moving up
drawn
the
more
food
than
chain.
enough attention
I
already.
hoped Fabiana wasn't going to be served up come feeding time.
Não vou remar.
Caralho, acorda, acorda, acorda! Vai, vai, vai! Não tem como escapar.
Eu consigo ver o medo nos seus olhos, ô...
That much security, it had to be Serrano's pad. Since I was in the neighborhood, I figured he wouldn't mind if I dropped in.
Ajuda, caralho! Faça, porra! Vai, vai, faça!
I had to hope the king was in his castle. If I could get back to Passos, we'd be in a slightly better position to handle this situation. I knew I shouldn't have gone there, and that Passos might have to pay the price for my sentiment.
I don't respond well to being blown to bits!
You fucking bastard!
Got the energy for an encore? Let's move!
Hey, come on. Hey, wake up. Let's go.
Passos had put some distance between himself and the goons. I meant to follow. The longer they had us split up, the more chance they had of picking us off.
Hey, look, man.
with the bad guys, man. Up in the tower.
This is the only way through.
If I lay down cover, can you move up on him?
That's anyone's guess.
Your body ain't gonna bury itself. Dig, motherfucker!
The morgue. How appropriate. Hey, psst, this way. Up there. Go on, go, go, go. Clip this fucking
Can't move here, Max! You gotta get out there and take him out!
Fuck me!
The odds of me getting out of there alive, let alone Giovanna and Marcello, were narrowing with every passing second.
Quem você é? O que você quer?
I had to get that image of Fabiana out of my head. I was still alive, and still not all that happy about it. Why did the easy way out never come? Maybe I thought I didn't deserve it.
Você tá me tirando, porra? Alguma coisa, seu filho...
I had no option but to
These
take the charmers
scenic
weren't
route.
there to make a couple of arrests. They were bussing them out by the dozen. But who was I to cast judgment on proper police procedure and justifiable use of force?
Não posso esperar pra sair daqui.
História de merda. Eles nunca aprendem a lição.
Traficantes e viciados, né? Espero o quê?
Get down. Stay out of sight.
Ok.
Disperse e procure por toda parte. Temos que achar a menina e o americano.
You okay?
Yeah. I can't do this!
Short of riding in on a parade float, we couldn't have made our arrival more obvious. We had to hide someplace out of the open.
What? I can't see a way down here either!
Has to be something.
Oh my God! Look out!
Ali! There! Tá lá a menina! Ei!
Matt, I can't hold on! Matt, look at... Are you okay?
I think so. There must be a way to drop those stairs down.
Wait a second. I'm going to try something.
Good. Come on. Let's get the hell away from here.
What are you doing?
It's okay. I'm right behind you.
There's someone down there. Why are they doing this, Max? This is so fucked up!
Our day had started with us hiding in filth, and got progressively worse. My luck was running true to form. Or rather, I was running true to form.
It's not safe. Come on.
Max,
Quiet!
you're the one breaking in.
No. Here, I'm here. It's okay.
I can't control this thing!
You're doing fine!
Oh my God!
Try to stay calm! Keep going!
I don't know what I'm doing!
Just keep your foot on the gas!
Cuidado! Cuidado!
Careful! Try to keep us straight!
Sorry! Oh no! Oh no! Ah! Max!
Yeah, I see it.
Sorry! Oh no!
All right, try to concentrate.
I can't do this, Max! Look, pasos!
Just drive! Hold on!
The radio. Maybe I could send out an SOS. Fire was sucking oxygen from the room. I didn't care if I got shot the second I got out of there. I needed one more gulp of fresh air before I died. It was like the need for a wake-up whiskey after a 2-day bender. I shut down one engine, but it didn't make much difference. There. I could breathe again. Now the boat could get back to smelling like suntan oil, stale margaritas, and greed. So this was the famous Panama Canal. We could have gone to...
Get the fuck off me!
¡Puta, aquí no hay nada! ¡Miguel, vení para acá!
Daphne's ship was always stocked. I spotted Pat. There was some equipment in the truck next to me. It'd be a shame to see it go to waste. I don't know what I expected to find. On a boat full of drunks and bullshit artists, I'd been the cabaret act. Shooting whatever came in front of me was easier than coming to terms. It was nice to see a friendly face in Panama.
Mesma coisa.
Atire nele! Na cabeça dele! Cuidado, ele está vindo nessa direção!
Puta que pariu! Seu desgraçado, filho da puta! Grosso! Eu vou te matar! Vai que eu vou tirar a atenção dele! Vai, mano! Levanta e acaba com ele!
I knew this thing was bigger than me. Bigger than the Broncos, but I only had a glimpse of the whole picture. Like looking in the mirror and for an instant seeing what everyone else sees. A bad caricature of a better man.
Está tudo certo. O que você acha que eu estou fazendo? Você sabe o que aconteceu a última vez.
Essa que é mais dura.
This was hell on earth. De Silva was no fool. I'd have driven on off into the sunset too if I were him. But I was in too far now. Even I could guess what Demolisal meant. That building was condemned in more ways than one. I'd seen some dark shit in my time. time I'd bought had been going real cheap. If I was gonna plant the rest of those explosives, I had to do it now. I guess it sounded like all hell was breaking loose. Whatever nonsense De Silva had pulled, it seemed to be working.
Está me achando que eu quero te matar? Por favor, eu te...
That kid had the right idea. There was no point bouncing bullets off that thing. I decided I'd try to pick up where he left off. And then immediately regretted that decision.
Porra, você tá tentando...
Another dark, rainy night. Another police station. Another futile crusade for amends. Time moves forward. Nothing changes.
Agora sua vez!
Atire nele! Agora!
And of course, they were headed my way. If the heat was rising, that meant I was getting closer to the source. I had to keep moving. Whatever depressing fate lay on the other side of those doors, there was no point in putting it off any longer. I still didn't know. tear gas. This wasn't good. I needed to find a way out of that stairwell. My eyes and throat burned, but at least I...
Segue em frente! Não vai se rebaixar!
Another pile of bodies and still nothing to show for it. It felt like I was detaching, that maybe this was revenge for something else, something buried deep in the past. Rodrigo, Giovanna, Passos, everyone who'd meant anything was gone. Like so many times before, I'd found myself alone, locked on a course of destruction. It was at my worst when I was at my best. Becker and Bachmeyer had taken their pound of flesh.
Hey! Atirem nele! Está se achando! Do you even know? Rodrigo, my regards! You're even crazier than I thought! You don't know when you lost, do you?
felt like my vacation was coming to an end. These were Becker's guys. Him and Victor had a private airport to go with their private army and their private jet. It didn't look like there'd be any trams leaving until the power was on. And we were off. I felt like I might be able to recharge for a second. At least until we pulled into the station and met more murderous assholes. Perfect. Everyone wanted a ticket for the Max Payne Express. The tram was slowing down, and I'd only just gotten on board. I had to salvage what I could and see what was waiting for me. This was my stop. It had taken me right into the heart of it. here I was, about to execute this poor bastard like some dime store angel of death, and I realized they were correct. I wouldn't know right from wrong if one of them was helping the poor and the other was banging my sister.
Look! There's a whole team of them! Look out! Right! Come on! Don't give up! Come on! We've got a flight to catch! It's not going to take off without us! We're getting hit! Aye! Shit! That about sums it up. They've set up a roadblock. They behave like an army, and they're equipped like one. That's them. Your career's coming down with that plane. Let's get it over with.